Yeah, I know you want to, but I think we'll give it a miss. Look, as tough as you think you are, I don't think you can get through this wet patch. And I think all our viewers will agree. Big Blue wants to go for a swim through this. I say no. As big and powerful as she thinks she is, no, I don't think so. I think we'll steer clear of this wet patch. Welcome back, guys. We're back into it again. We're sowing wheat at the moment. We're down here on our irrigation. Got a lateral here on the track. Big Blue there behind me, full of wheat. Going to be sowing some wheat today, but I'm just down here looking at the vetch that we sowed well, more than a few weeks back, a month or so ago, I suppose. So I did a month or so ago, but it's up and it's looking good, looking very good. So really happy about that. We've had good germination. It's looking real healthy, which is nice to see. So I've got a quiz for you guys. First one to tell me what's happened here. Why have we got vetch grown in patches like this, higher than anything else? First one to drop it in the comments below. But we're here to sow wheat, not look at vetch, so we better go get into it. I should just explain for you guys, because we are on our irrigation, we've had a lot of work's gone into prepping the ground. We actually deep ripped this block a few months back, early on. Then it was boarded to help level it out. So the ground, well, and then we spread gypsum on it, I should say, and then we spread lime on it. So there's been a lot of prep work go into it before we actually get around to sowing this block, and obviously a lot of prep work goes into it because it is irrigation and it's going to be your highest yielding paddock, so you put the most into it to get the most out of it. So there's been a lot of work go into this ground. It's made the ground very well, as you guys can see, it's very loamy. It's beautiful ground, really. Typically dark, heavy ground, but it's very loamy because so much prep work has actually gone into it. So this morning, Adsy and I have spent quite a bit of time going over the bar. We had a few blocked liquid lines, so we spent quite a bit of time going along each one and unblocking that. We've had to lift all the tines up out of the ground a bit, which I showed you guys in the last video, so I won't bother going through that again unless you guys actually want me to make a video about that again. So we've lifted all the tines up out of the ground a bit more, and because this is sort of dark, heavier ground, it tends to it can pack down very, very hard. So we've actually lifted up or lightened the packing pressure of the press wheels as well. We've taken the pressure right off that, so more or less they're just running over the ground, not putting any sort of downforce on it at all. Otherwise it'll pack that soil too hard, and then that'll affect your germination rates because it'll be too hard for the seed to try and push up through that compacted ground. So we're going to leave it with as little pressure on it as possible, only digging down sort of an inch with the tines, so it'll leave the ground nice and soft, so it's easy for the wheat to shoot up out of the ground. We'll get nice germination rates. Obviously, being irrigation as well, we'll put our rates of everything right up, put our wheat rates up, and put our fert rates up as well, and the liquid rates. So it'll all go right up because, as I said, we want our highest yielding crops out of the irrigation, obviously. So anyway, I'll stop talking. You're probably sick of it by now. I'll get back in Big Blue and we'll get into sowing some wheat. So one thing that I did actually forget to change on the rollers along the bottom of the bins here, they've got a, well, if you see in here, there's two gears. There's high ratio and low ratio. So because on the irrigation we're going to be putting everything on a lot heavier, we're going to need everything, all the gears here in high ratio, so it puts out more product. So I've gone ahead and done it already. That one was already on high ratio, but the two fert bins were both on low ratio because we weren't putting out much urea or fertiliser in the last few paddocks that we've been in, so they were on low ratio. So I've just gone and put them onto high, and that's only a matter of, it's probably not a good one to show, but a matter of taking this pin, that pin that's now in there, take that pin out of the big cog and you put it around into the small one, which means that's the driving gear now, which will speed everything up and make sure that the rollers can keep up with the rate that the computer's telling it to put out, so which it wasn't doing until I've just done this. So I've changed them over now, so that should be putting out the right amounts. Yeah, so anyway, sit back in blue and get back into it. Yeah, I know you want to, but I think we'll give it a miss. Look, as tough as you think you are, I don't think you can get through this wet patch. And I think all our viewers will agree. Big Blue wants to go for a swim through this. I say no. As big and powerful as she thinks she is, no, I don't think so. I think we'll steer clear of this wet patch. So while I've been down here selling the wheat in Big Blue, Adsy's come down in Little Blue, and we've borrowed a tyre roller off our neighbour, which is very nice of him. We're going to roll, because we'll be cutting this vetch here that's on our irrigation. We'll be cutting it for hay, so we've borrowed our neighbour's tyre roller, and we're just going to run over it and roll it all. The reason you roll paddocks that you're going to cut for hay, or it's best to, it's to flatten out ridges created by the air seeder. I'll just try and show you guys. If you can sort of see, the air seeder sort of creates fair sort of ridges in the ground, and the roller will flatten those ridges out. So then your cutter can get lower to the ground and thus get more hay. Also good to roll ground in case there's any rocks. It'll sort of push them into the soil further as well, and make it so, well, when you go over with the cutter won't pick up a rock and break a blade or blunt your blades or anything like that. So to sort of push those rocks down, push those ridges down, just make it a nice sort of flat surface for cutting your hay. But as you'll run over this paddock pretty quick with Little Blue, get that done. I'll get the drone up in the air actually. I'll get that drone up, I'll get you some footage from up top. But that's what Adsy's doing. I think Gus is on his way back down here in the sprayer to spray some more in front of me. I'll jump back on Big Blue, get the Mav up and start doing some flying as well. So I get all the way out here this morning, get the tractor up and running again, only to realise that I've forgotten to bring 15 litres of fungicide to put in the liquid tank. Oh, back home I go. Well, we've got our fungicide, so let's get back to it. So, got our fungicide in. Apologies for the noise that fan's creating. I've just put the fungicide in. We'll have to give that a minute to agitate up and mix up into all the in the liquid tank. Shouldn't take long though, because if you can see in under there, the pump sucks the liquid, obviously lowest point of the tank right down the bottom, but it's directly below where we actually tip it in. So it being heavier, it will fall straight to the bottom where the pump will suck it through, straight through the agitator and start mixing it all up. So it shouldn't take too long to actually agitate all that material into the liquid system. While that's doing that, I'll go over the bar, because we're in black sort of heavier ground at the moment. I'll go over the bar because some of the actual liquid tubes may actually be blocked up. I'll just quickly go over them all, just make sure they are actually unblocked and working properly, and then we'll be right to rip back into it. So bear with me for 2 seconds. out Little Blue for the case to put on the roller. His reason for doing that is the case actually has auto steer on it. Little Blue doesn't. We use Little Blue primarily for hay. It's our hay tractor, so we didn't really see the need to have auto steer on that tractor, but the case does have it, so he thought he'd use that today so he could use the GPS, and his lines were straighter and he wasn't overlapping and he wasn't sort of doubling up on his rolling and whatever. It makes it more efficient. Auto steer just makes it more efficient in what you're actually doing. So that's why he has swapped out his tractors today. Just bear with me for a second. I'm going to pull up here because I did have the drone out, but I run out of battery and it crash landed over here. I'm kidding, it didn't actually crash land. I landed over here at the end of the run so I could step out of the tractor and quickly grab it. But yeah, so anyway, that's why Adsy's on the red tractor today, not the Little Blue one. Here's Mav, safe and sound. Hey buddy. Put a new battery in him and get him back up in the air. So anyway, back to it. Currently flying a drone, but my phone's gone flat, so I've lost all visual aid. So at the moment we're flying blind, and I was up about 200 meters too, so this could be interesting. I'll bring him down, hopefully I can spot him somewhere, but we're flying blind for the moment. So it turns out that you can actually fly it without your phone. I ended up coming down the 200 meters and... Oh, hang on a second, I'll show you guys. Look who's flying just down there. Bring him a bit closer. There he is. I'll pull up when I get to this end and I'll get him back inside the cab, I think. just taking that tractor home. I folded up the seeding rig and I'm on my way home. I've just left the paddock. So it's all wound up and all done. We're actually on the home stretch now. That was second last paddock. We've got about another 600 acres to go, so we're below 1,000 acres left for sowing 2019. So it's been pretty good this year. We've gotten across it pretty quick. Relatively few issues, I suppose. But I'll run this home now. We'll get it all filled up and ready to go for tomorrow. We'll get back into it. But besides that, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe below. If you're not following us on Facebook and Instagram, I'll put the links below for you as well. Anyway, guys, stay safe. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.